Today on CityCast Denver. It's time for the second installment of our summer entertainment guide because we want to help you squeeze every drop of sun out of this mile-high summer. And for this one, we're doing something special. We got the team together to pick out our very own personal summer fun recommendations just for you, bracket style. Today is Wednesday, June 14th. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. I'm here with our producer, Paul Karolyi.
Hey.
Our Hey Denver newsletter editor, Peyton Garcia.
Heyo.
And CityCast editor, Adrian González.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Hi, guys. So we're talking summer. We're doing something that we normally do at the end of every week, which is where we look through a couple events and then we recommend one as a group. But this is not the end of the week. This is actually the second installment of our summer entertainment guide. And we're going to pick the official CityCast Denver maybe for your summer, as in maybe you'll see us there. Peyton has assembled a list of mega cool events to do in and around Denver this summer. But there's only one of those events where you might see us, hence why we'll be picking our maybe today. So let's get into it.
Actually, before we start, can I make a suggestion for us?
Okay.
Now,
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
recording.
I didn't know if this was part of the
No,
thing.
this is, of course, this is part of it. I think we should raise the stakes.
Oh, boy.
I think this is a special, bigger, better recommendation. This is the whole summer we're talking about. I think we should throw the maybe away and agree
knew that's
right
what you were
now
gonna say.
that we will actually go to whatever thing
I like
we
that.
pick.
I guess I lie to people every day, so sure.
I like that because it's going to mean, I don't know.
That means I'm not going to pick something that's like out of the way or like requires.
Exactly.
gotta
Which
be
is
good.
how our listeners are going to be thinking about it too.
I
This is
don't
going to be
know.
a
Our
real
listeners
recommendation.
Might be more adventurous than us, though.
Well, we'll just have to see how it shakes out.
Okay. Well,
Love it.
sure.
That's it. We're committed, maybe.
Okay. We're maybe committed.
Where do you want to start, Pay?
All right. Well, let's start kind of with the structure of this. So we're doing this kind of bracket style. So I have 4 categories of events. And in each category, I picked 3 events to recommend to you guys.
And that'll move into the...
Yes. And then
Okay.
once we have our favorite from all 4 categories, those 4 events will go up against each other for the ultimate CityCast, maybe for your summer.
Maybe, definitely, maybe.
Maybe, definitely, probably, possibly, maybe.
Is that
sure.
an
Great
Oasis
rom-com.
song or an Oasis album? I think it's an Oasis album. I'm not an Oasis person. I'm a Blur person. I just wanted to put that out there for other people that care. You guys
Okay.
don't. So let's move on.
I'm so excited about this. We got to get into this. We got to
Okay,
get into
okay.
this. I want to hear these events.
All right. So, category 1, arts.
Oh,
Hit me
big,
up.
wide-ranging.
Arts with an S, yes.
I've heard of 'em.
Wide-ranging, and I only had to pick, I could only pick 3. So, very first event, Colorado Native, a Native American comedy showcase, taking place Thursday, August 24th, 7 p.m. at the Holiday Theater in the Highlands through MCA. Tickets are $20. It's an evening of comedy from Indigenous comics, hosted by Joshua Emerson, headlined by Dash Turner.
I love the spin on Colorado Native.
I know, me
Yeah,
too.
it's-
I thought
it's
that
really
was great.
it's really just putting it out there on
Fantastic
its
name.
yeah.
the the ridiculousness of those bumper stickers, the fights that we have over what they mean, and the ownership of it here of Indigenous comedians is genius.
That could be really good.
Also-
Josh Emerson, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
That guy's so
I've heard
funny.
nothing
He's
but
hilarious.
amazing things about him.
Good option. Good first
solid
option.
pick.
What else we
All
got?
right. All right. Option number 2 in the arts category, revealed. John Fielder's favorite place.
Oh.
So this is an exhibition being put on by History Colorado. The exhibition opens Saturday, July 22nd. To get in, it's $15 for general admission, but members get in for free. So this is an exhibit that will display 50 years of Colorado photography from the famous photographer and conservationist John Fielder. You'll get to view his work in large format prints. All of it culminates at the end of the exhibit in revealing John Fielder's favorite place.
Wow.
So the press
And he
release was
really
like
knows
real.
this date.
Yeah, the press release was really teasing. Like they wouldn't even give a hint as to where this is, but like the whole you go through this whole exhibition of all of his work, and then at the end you get to find out the place that John Fielder who has explored every inch of the state, the place that he thinks is the coolest in Colorado.
Ooh,
But
I gotta know.
I think this sounds really cool because if you've seen his work and you've seen his work, whether you know it or not, his work is great. And it just really gives you this incredible perspective on Colorado and where we live. It's just, he's a very, very talented photographer.
And I, like you said, you may not know that you've seen his work, but you've seen it because it has informed how you think about what Colorado looks like, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I would say we are so used to looking at photos on our phones and our computers. Getting to see photographs like in real life, in large format, it's different. It's just so different.
I feel like you picked this event for me. I'm a huge John Fielder stan. I have a book autographed by him, a photo book.
Oh, cool.
The big-ass coffee table book.
Dope.
This is great.
What do you think, Paul?
I think this is very tempting. I think it's already quite competitive so far. These are two good ones.
Really
but
good.
I want to hear what else you got for the arts category.
Okay, last one in the arts category, the grand opening celebration of Desert Rider, Dreaming in Motion. That is an
Yes.
exhibit happening through the Denver Art Museum. They're having a grand opening event on Sunday, July 9th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So the exhibit spotlights Latino and Indigenous artists, but their canvas was a vehicle, like a lowrider or a skateboard. I imagine there will probably be some motorcycles, but what they did is they decked out these, well, they quote unquote transformed these vehicles. And the idea is to express the identity and pride of the Southwestern U.S. culture. And then opening night, so July 9th, there's going to be a lowrider show, plus local food trucks and musicians.
And I would also clarify, they do transform some vehicles, but vehicles are sort of just the piece, the object. So there's going to be some paintings of vehicles.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah. I like got goosebumps when you brought this up. I am so excited about this exhibition. Carlos Fresquez, who's a staple here in Denver for art. But also we're going to see some artists from the Southwest region. Naniba Chacon, one of my favorite artists of all time,
yes.
out of New Mexico. We've never had her here.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. And I love the connection to how many ways we look at the culture around lowriders and beyond is like you said, the vehicle is the object, but it's also a storytelling piece. It's a historic, it's just like the photos I've already seen of the pieces you're going to see in this. I can't wait to see in real life.
Yeah, it does sound really cool, and it's free. It coincides with a free day at the museum, so it's the opening night is free.
Oh my gosh.
July 9th.
I always get excited about the West in the summer.
I do too.
Like the idea of the West, like being in this part of this history that's gone back with all these different people that have come here. And this sounds like it would tap into that for me and get me excited about like a fresh perspective on the West, or fresh to me at least. And I don't know, that might be the one for me of this group. That's pretty good.
No, I love this narrative. I think what Bree was saying, I love the reclaiming of some of these items that were looked down upon at some point for some of these cultures. I think for Chicano culture, it's huge to have this in a museum.
Yeah,
I'm
and it's
excited.
really, the lowrider culture is such a big part of like the Denver community. I would just love to learn more about it.
Well, and like you said, Adrian, in the context of a art museum, this is the longtime work of Chicano activists 50 years ago. This is the This is what we get. This is the outgrowth from that. It's like taking Chicano art seriously, taking Indigenous art seriously, and putting it into context, like Paul says, of what the West looks like to us. This is a great way, honestly, to me, to get to know Denver. If you're newer here and you want to know, like, what is this place about? This is one of those facets of it that tells so much of our story.
I love that. I love that you put it that way.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I gotta say, I'm
That could
real
be
biased.
it. Is that
Yeah,
it? Is that
I
the
mean,
one? I mean,
It definitely feels like the one we got most excited about.
the comedy show and the Colorado
I
Native
know.
thing also sounds
Sounds like a blast.
really quite good. That's such a great idea. But yeah, I'm Desert Rider on this one. That's
100%.
for me.
Let's do it. Desert Rider, huh?
Okay, they advanced to the finals.
All right,
I'm gonna put
good
that one in.
job.
All right, I got a few
bold.
weeks to get a lowrider to show up in.
Have you
Notoriously
ever,
easy
I
to
know
build.
Show
you're a
and
car
shine.
guy, Adrian. Is that a thing you've ever like experimented with? You ever done anything with
No, again, I think, long story short, it was something that to stay away from. It was something that would mark you as a vagrant or something to be looked down upon. So I love lowriders. Now I think that I've come into adulthood and gotten rid of some of those, unlearned some of those nasty things. I would love to have a lowrider or 10.
a fleet?
A fleet.
Lowriders. Okay. All right. So that's our winner for that category. Should we move on?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Category number 2, food.
Ooh, Pay's
Oof.
favorite.
Yeah. So this one was especially tough because there's 8 million food festivals you can go to throughout the summer.
I am so curious what you came up with because this is your wheelhouse. You are so familiar with these things.
I mean, there's a million brewery festivals and wine festivals and bourbon and bacon festivals and just all of that. And there's so many good ones, and you'll hear about them, throughout the summer in the newsletter. But I did try to avoid some of those bigger ones. Top Taco, Burger Battle, Chicken Fight. I tried to avoid some of those for this list so that we could, get
Just
a little
highlight some new
adventurous.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first one, we're actually venturing out of Denver and we're driving 3 hours away to one of Bree's favorite places to go, Glenwood Springs.
Glenwood Springs.
For the Strawberry Days Festival. Have you done this?
I haven't, but I just it came across when we were researching for this, and I was like, I have never heard of this.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of it either. It's taking place June 16th through 18th, very soon. It is free to go. So the festival has live music, food and craft vendors, family activities, a parade, all that good festival stuff. But what was notable about this one is it's been happening for 125 years.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Reportedly one of the oldest, quote, continuously held civic celebrations west of the Mississippi. I mean, that's at least what the website says. Yeah. It was started by the Tri-County Farmers Union in 1898 to promote the state's finest fruits, vegetables, and dairy. The longstanding tradition of the festival is to serve free strawberries and ice cream. It's the community's official kickoff to summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
The same dish that Doc Holliday probably had there decades ago,
Strawberries and ice cream. I mean, Glenwood Springs is so fun. This is really cool. The history piece to this, it's just so rooted in the community there. It sounds like really cool. They have the Mountaintop amusement park in Glenwood Springs. They've got the Glenwood Spring Hot Springs.
They've got Iron Mountain. Glenwood Springs Hot Springs is going through a remodel. They're almost done. Iron Mountain also going through a remodel. So, I mean, if you need an excuse to go up there, I don't. This is a great reason.
Iron Mountain's one of those good hot springs. That's like a nightclub
really good ones.
too. That's
It is.
kind of a scene
Different
at
vibe.
night.
Yeah.
Totally.
Very, very cool.
What do you guys think?
It's good. It's good. But we got to see what else is out there.
Hit us with the next one, Peyton.
Next one. So this is one that I've spent all my life hearing about. I've never gone to, but I would love to check it out. The Olathe Sweet Corn Festival. August 4th and 5th in Olathe, Colorado, which is a 5-hour drive from Denver. It's a little bit of a commitment, but it's supposed to be really cool. It's one of Colorado's staple produce items that we provide here, that we grow here. There's a parade, there's a corn eating contest, there's an Olathe royalty pageant, a tractor pull, a live country concert, and all you can eat roasted sweet Olathe corn.
That's pretty
Free
good
to go to, $30 for the concert. Yeah, never been. Love Olathe sweet corn.
I am not someone who typically gets excited about corn.
But you should.
But I'm changing my
Hot
mind
take.
today, and I am a corn freak.
I just know in August I will. I know in August it's one of those things. It's like, when peaches are in season, when the melons from Rocky Ford start coming into season. I always get into it. I always get excited about it. I know I will be excited.
Yeah.
And
the photos look fun too. People are like dressed up like corn. There's corn everywhere.
Conversely, I am
town.
someone that gets very excited about corn, being something that originates from the Americas and being Mexican. I can't eat anything without corn. I get made fun of all the time. I need corn for my corn. So this is great. Yeah, like I would eat corn with more corn.
Your heart's content of corn at the Olathe Sweet Corn Festival.
I mean, this is making me hungry right now.
All right, we got strawberries, we got corn. What else we got in our food category?
All right. We have, this one's taking place in Edgewater. It's called the Blues and Barbecue Festival. It's actually called Blues and Barbecue for Better Housing. So I picked this one. It's Saturday, July 15th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Because it raises funds for Habitat for Humanity of Metro Denver. So tickets are $10. VIP is $100. So if you do VIP, you get access to a special lounge, and then your food and drink is all inclusive. GA food and drink is not included, but it's a bunch of local food trucks doing barbecue, local brewers, local bands, games, activities, all that fun stuff. But most importantly, to raise money to build better housing.
Okay. Gluttony for a cause.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That one's in Edgewater.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was surprised this one had been going on for so long and I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
It sounds awesome. I really am more into the corn.
Yeah, we have to pick. So corn, strawberries, barbecue for a cause.
I'm leaning strawberries. The historic nature of it, 125 years. A festival doesn't go that long if it's not good. You know, they're going to have like good stuff figured out there.
I was trying to like not go to the place I always go. I have been to Olathe actually.
Is
Did a-
Olathe fun? What's Olathe like?
I was there in the off season clearly because there was like no one there. But I bet they come all out for this. And I'm with Adrian. I would eat corn every day on anything.
I have to say, I'm really intrigued by the corn festival. I mean, the one thing that Glenwood has over is the proximity.
Yes.
It is not nearly as much of a drive. But the corn festival sounds really dope.
Call me corny. I'm going to get corn.
Yeah, sorry, Paul. I think you're outnumbered.
I'll let you three have the corn. I'll get there. I'll get excited about it.
You will when the time comes.
The 5-hour drive is going to be a factor in the finals, though. We'll talk about that later.
All right, guys. Next category. This one's exciting. Mountain adventure.
Oh, good. I'm glad you did this.
Yeah.
We
So
need
these
to-
are all going to take us a little bit outside of Denver. First one, I have never heard of this, but it's very exciting. It's called Fib Arc Whitewater Festival.
Fib? Like
Fib
F-I-B?
Arc.
Fib
Yeah,
Arc.
Fib Arc. It stands for First in Boating on the Arkansas. So
Very neat.
this takes place in Salida. So that's a 3-hour drive from Denver. It's June 15th through 18th. So again, coming up very soon. And it is a whitewater rafting festival, but it's also so much more than that. So they have all of these crazy races that take place on the Arkansas River. Like they have the hooligan race, which is a race for anything that floats that's not a boat. So people
cool.
are building
Okay.
floating
I would enter that.
platforms, and you have to just, I don't know, I guess not sink. Like their signature whitewater rafting race, they claim is, quote, the longest, oldest, most prestigious, and perhaps the toughest race in North America.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a professional rafting race,
So
and then also
there's
this like amateur
some fun
hooligan
stuff.
thing.
Totally. And then there's
Sounds
like
awesome.
some intense ones. And there's also running races. There's a hill climb, a trail run, a 10K. And then they've got all the normal festival stuff, a bouncy castle, live music, local vendors. This has been going on for 75 years. And it's the way that it takes place every June at the peak of spring snow runoff. This sounds so
Wow.
cool. It's free to be a spectator. It costs money to register to participate in the events. But just sounds like it'd be really fun to watch.
I'd say make this like a 4 or 5 day trip because you're Salida's like almost halfway to Santa Fe. And that 285 drive is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
I love Salida.
I do
Salida's one of
too.
those fantastic little gems in the mountains where you can spend an afternoon if you're driving on the way to somewhere
so
else. It's always worth
beautiful.
a stop. Or it's a destination in its own right. There's a great pizza place there. I don't remember the name of it. I'll put it in the show notes, but that's a little sub recommendation.
I feel like our tunnels expert said there was some tunnel situations in that in Salida as well.
Interesting.
So
Very
that's-
interesting.
So that one could be a whole big weekend trip.
Yeah.
It sounds
like
fun.
a great mountain
Yeah.
adventure.
Yeah, right?
What
Great
else?
pick.
What else we got, Peyton?
Okay, next mountain adventure. Crested Butte Wildflower Festival. This takes place July 7th through the 16th. It's a 10-day festival filled with wildflower workshops. And when I say that, I mean you're learning how to paint wildflowers. You're learning about the pollination of wildflowers, wildflower photography, how to use wildflowers in medicine and cooking. There's garden tours. There's wildflower hikes. 10 days. Crested Butte has some of the most incredible wildflowers ever. They're actually the capital, the wildflower capital of Colorado.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I have a friend who, a friend of my wife's from college just came to visit Colorado because she's dating this guy, and they came specifically for Crested Butte wildflowers.
Really?
From
I've never
Washington,
heard of
D.C.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is like a
thing.
world famous thing. Yeah. He said
That's
he
awesome.
remembered seeing them as a kid, and he always dreamed of coming back.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. It kind of got me
That's a
excited
good
about
sell.
it again, too.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Paul's
yeah.
really selling us on the wildflowers.
I mean,
flowers.
and the price varies by event, but it's really not crazy. It's anywhere, they range from like $50 to $125 depending on what you want to do. But they have everything there.
I think it's going to be a good wildflower year, too, because of the water, the wet winter we had. Although the rafting also that's an advantage there as well.
Yeah. All the rain.
It's another tough
And
category.
it's only
Peyton.
a 2.5 hour drive on 285. So
Yeah,
you
that's
could
not
really
bad
do
at all.
that in a day. I mean, you might want to stay. I think you'd want to at least stay the night, but you wouldn't have to.
Yeah, you didn't. You could just make it a day
All right.
thing.
What's our
great
third
pick.
mountain
All right.
adventure?
Last one. I should have done this one first. Feels a little anticlimactic, but it's a mushroom identification course.
I'm in. Say less.
Oh, I know.
Say less.
I was like, I'm
So,
out. Say
This
less.
is through the Colorado mycological. Am I saying that right, Paul?
Mycological?
Mycological?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay, well,
Sounds right to me.
correct me if I'm wrong. The Colorado Mycological Society. So you can register for this course. The course includes 2 classroom sessions and 1 field trip. So you'll learn from John Summer, who's president of the Colorado Mycological Society. He was educated in botany and plant pathology, so he has degrees in mushrooms. You'll learn everything there is to know about mushrooms, how to identify them, how to collect them, and how to use them. I'm assuming in things like cooking and medicine. The classes are here in Denver at St. Joseph Hospital, but there are field trips. The location of the field trip is TBD, but I assume you have to adventure at least toward the mountains to find mushrooms.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
I mean, you'd learn. That's probably why it's TBD, right? They're going to wait until they know where the
the good
best
ones are.
mushrooms
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. So the course is only $50. You do have to sign up to be a member of the Colorado Mycological Society in order to attend the class. But a year membership is $25.87. So really,
Done.
So it's like
not
$75.
bad.
Bucks.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for 2 classes and a field trip.
This is something that would not normally have interested me, but my sister, who has been going to school for herbalism, is really she's been really experimenting with mushrooms and how to forage for them, and it's actually pretty cool stuff.
And potentially lucrative. Some of these mushrooms
Yeah.
you can just find on the side of the road. You can
Yeah.
sell for
Sounds
big
like
money.
it's something that's really growing in popularity too, from what I've seen on the internets.
I have to also add, I mean, I've done a little bit of research in the mushroom world lately, and I can't say for certain that anyone on this trip is going to be in the know, but the other kind of mushrooms, the magic kind, I don't know a single person who is interested in mushroom foraging and the mushroom eating for food that is not also interested in
There's a
psilocybin
big
and
crossover
psychedelics.
there.
Huge crossover.
Yeah.
I mean, it's plant medicine.
Yeah.
I'm into
So you
that.
might
Give me a
get
chance
some-
to use my
I know, it's
my
like-
mushroom knife that I don't use very often.
You got a mushroom knife?
I got a mushroom knife.
What's that look like?
It's just like a little Opinel that this brand. It's a small little 5-inch knife, and it has a brush on one end so you can brush off and clean your mushrooms, and then a little knife so you can.
Oh, you're all set.
Adrian, I'm learning so much about you today. These events are very telling.
Okay.
All right.
Fibark, the Whitewater Rafting Festival in Salida, 75 years old. The Crested Butte Wildflower Festival, or the Mushroom ID Expedition. What are we thinking?
I don't want to turn down a trip to Salida, personally. Even if the festival itself is not super my jam, you had me at Bouncy Castle, so there is something else to do. Or at least watch these folks.
Yeah. I think
They're
watching
crazy
it could
boats.
be so fun.
The hooligan one? That does sound
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
The-
that sounds like a proper mountain adventure.
Mhm.
All right. You agree, Adrian?
I agree.
Salida
Okay. Fibark it is.
Do we have another category? Is it time for the finals?
We don't. We have one more.
Okay, one more category.
This category is, drumroll please, miscellaneous.
All right.
Oh,
We have a grab bag.
Couldn't
some,
fit it into
some
a
real
category.
off the wall stuff.
This is extremely anticlimactic.
Yep.
Trump roll.
Peyton, hit us with your first miscellaneous pick.
Okay, first one is the Pollinator Palooza from the Butterfly Pavilion. I've been doing a lot of
have.
research and work with Butterfly Pavilion this spring. Just because I don't know, I did some research on them. I talked to some of their peeps, and they do really cool stuff.
do.
So I've been like recommending their stuff a lot in the newsletter. But Pollinator Palooza is the culmination of a 2-month initiative that they do to educate the public on the importance of pollinators and how to, help that cause. So this is taking place Sunday, June 25th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Butterfly Pavilion in Westminster. It is free to attend. The outside portions, at least. Admission is required for the indoor exhibits. So you can still buy your tickets, which are $15 for adults, free for kids, and go in and check out some of the Butterfly Pavilion exhibits. But the event is to raise awareness and celebrate local pollinators. There's going to be a pollinator artisan market and food trucks, which a lot of times in things like these, they focus on stuff like bees. They use like beeswax and bee pollen and honeycomb.
In their products?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And there's also going to be garden tours and a pollinator gardening station where you can learn how to plant plants that will attract
yeah.
local pollinators and support that ecosystem. Plus, there's going to be a live concert and kid-friendly activities. You can check out the new Pollinator Place exhibit inside the pavilion and learn all about our local pollinators. I've been like really into supporting local pollinators lately. I'm sure Bree knows. It's been like all over the
It
newsletter.
has been in your newsletter a lot.
It's just like a thing I'm into this year.
But I mean, as a person with a 2-year-old, this sounds like a fantastic event. We also just planted some pollinator plants a couple of years ago, and they're working.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's cool. It's really cool to see in your own garden. But I think I would love to learn more. And your interest in it has gotten me interested in it because I edit your newsletter.
Yeah.
And it is like a little hidden gem. Like I remember when the Butterfly Pavilion opened, it was just like, oh, you can go look at bugs. But it's like,
Yeah.
research.
They
and
do
you
so
learn
much
so
cool
much in
stuff
regional.
now. Yeah, I just have to say, check out their stuff if you go
It's
to
great.
this. It's really
Underrated.
cool.
I'm kind of over pollinators.
Pollinators are
Too
so
many-
last season
I've got
for
too
Paul.
many Miller moths in my house to be
I mean,
excited
yes,
about pollinators
but what
right
about
now.
the honeybees, Paul?
I don't know. What else we got? What else is miscellaneous? Peyton?
Adrian, did you have any thoughts on the Pollinator Palooza?
Oh, that sounds fascinating.
Okay.
I love it.
All right, moving on. This one takes us out of Denver, but only about an hour. The Georgetown Loop Old West Days. So this one kind of took me down a rabbit hole. I honestly don't know much about the town of Georgetown or the Georgetown Loop Railroad, but there's a ton of history there. It's very, very rich in Old Western history. So the Georgetown train, I wish we had Olivia here because she's like an
she's
expert
a Georgetown
in
Loop
Georgetown.
fanatic.
Yeah,
Our new producer,
she really
Olivia
is.
Olivia Jewel Love.
So, anyways, basically what it sounds like is you go to the Georgetown Loop Railroad and it sounds like it's basically Old West cosplay. I don't want to simplify it, but you're dressed up like it's the Old West and you're learning how they did
As I
things in the
often am.
Old West, as you
Adrian, you can
often
just
are.
walk right onto that set.
You get to, they encourage you to come dressed up,
Oh,
meet Old
see,
West characters.
He even has his hat.
Adrian just put on
he's-
a fantastic hat.
One
Donning
of
his
his many
hat. It is
fantastic hats.
beautiful. It would be perfect for this event. You can learn how to pan for gold and you can buy a quote cowboy lunch. Then of course take the hour-long ride on the Georgetown steam engine train through.
Wait, what's a cowboy lunch?
Cowboy lunch.
You
Yeah, I
had
know.
us at cowboy
Yeah.
lunch.
yeah. Whoa.
Cowboy cuisine. I don't know if I've ever.
It's a
that's
can of
not
beans.
Like part of the the
Can of
cowboy
beans over
mythos is
fire.
good food.
But it's all about the experience,
Nasty
Paul.
bloody
Have you learned?
steak.
Have
I
you
know, it's
learned
like
nothing?
Chuck Wagon.
Yeah.
God.
Then you I don't know if you guys have done the Georgetown train, but that looks pretty beautiful.
Oh, for
haven't.
sure. Oh,
So it's like a
train
loop. It just
rides.
like
Oh.
does
Yeah.
a train ride through, but it has this really cool bridge where you like go over.
I honestly don't know anything
I
about
think
it.
I've seen I've seen a billboard for it here. So
I think that one sounds really cool.
That's
Honestly, Olivia's excitement about the Georgetown train really psyched me up for this, and I like old Western stuff, so I think this could be cool.
does it say
Okay.
how much it is?
Yeah, it is free. Free to go to the Georgetown Loop Old West Days event. Train rides are $35 for adults and $29 for kids.
cool. Oh, that's not bad.
What else? What's our last miscellaneous thing?
Last event, super miscellaneous, the Scandinavian Midsummer Festival.
Oh,
Okay. wait. Midsummer or midsummer?
Midsummer,
Okay.
not
Same thing, isn't it?
midsummer. No idea.
I don't speak Nordic
I have
languages.
no
One of those
clue.
languages.
Mostly I picked this one because it's in Estes Park.
Our favorite place.
And we love Estes Park, and they do
Yeah.
all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah, they do.
It's June 23rd through the 25th. It is free to go to. But also, like, how often do you see festivals that celebrate, or anything really that celebrates Scandinavian culture? And it's
Too
cool.
rarely.
Yeah,
I don't
too rarely.
know anything about
And
it other than their furniture.
Here's
It's
what I
great.
can tell you about it. They'll have authentic food like potato sausages and a bunch of stuff I can't pronounce.
Better than cowboy lunch.
Yeah. Crafts, music, performances, and stuff like flower crown making and folk dancing and Viking reenactments.
There's like a 25% chance you'll get indoctrinated into a cult at this festival.
Yes, that's a fan of
I've
that
seen
movie.
this movie. I know how this goes.
Count me in
Man,
then.
I love Estes Park.
I
I know.
I
Me
just
too.
love
It's good.
Estes
It's
Park.
good.
I like to go up there for the July. You've really, though, if you want to stay in
Yeah.
Estes Park, you need to make a reservation because I have slept in my car before.
Oh, I have two. Do what you got to do to get to Estes Park.
Okay, so that's our final miscellaneous.
We got Pollinator Palooza, the Georgetown Loop Old West Days, and that Cowboy Lunch, and the Scandinavian Midsummer Festival in Estes Park.
That's a tough category.
That is a
Also,
tough one.
I don't think I said when the Georgetown Old West Days were.
Oh.
It's August 19th and 20th, and also August 26th and 27th. What are you guys thinking?
Georgetown.
I think my pick is
Georgetown
Georgetown. Yeah.
Georgetown
100%
Loop.
me too.
Love one of
Sounds
those
That train is
historic
incredible.
Train rides in the mountains. Those are
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Always good.
So fun. Okay. All right. Paul, you want to recap us on?
Our finalists
'Kay.
are the Desert Rider exhibition at the Denver Art Museum, Dreaming in Motion, the Olathe Sweet Corn Festival, a 5-hour drive away for corn, all the corn you could ever dream of, the Fib Arc Whitewater Rafting Festival in Salida, the Georgetown Loop Old West Days. That's
I just
4 good events.
I know what I'm gonna do. I know where I'm going.
What are you
What
going
are
to
you
do, Bree?
thinking? Yeah,
I'm
tell
going
us.
to the dam. I want to see the Desert Rider. I've been wanting to see the Desert Rider exhibition since we got that press release like 3 months ago. When we were getting ready for this, I was like, "Is it open yet? Did I miss it? Have we seen it?" So, I just also Paul, you put the caveat in there that we have to pick something you might actually see us
what
at.
would you actually want? The
Yeah,
dam.
you think I'm going to go downtown to see something? Absolutely.
Perhaps. That's a big advantage for that one.
So
Wow.
that's where I'm leaning.
I'm with you, Bree. I've heard about this. Our friend Victoria works at the Denver Art Museum. She was one of the curators for this. And ever since I heard about it, I think like a year ago, I've been waiting for the show.
Same.
I think this might be my pick.
Is she pumped? Is this like a bigger and better exhibit, or is this like, one of the ones they do?
No, this is new. This is big. This is a very special exhibit.
All right. Well, okay. The other one that I'm really excited about is the Whitewater Rafting Festival, because I do love Salida, and that sounds like a great weekend. And,
Also, to be fair, that one is next weekend.
Well, I love the Georgetown Loop, and I think we could totally go team field trip. Ride
When
the
is
train
the
Georgetown
Georgetown
together.
Loop one again? Old West
The
Days?
Old West Days is
August.
in August, so 2 weekends in August. Look at the.
It
we
is
have plenty
always
of
fun
time
to go
to
to the mountains in the
plan.
summer because it's a little
Yeah.
cooler,
Yeah.
it would be nice.
especially mid-August
CityCast
when
Denver,
you're dying.
Adventures Out of Denver, rides a train together, has a cowboy lunch.
Cowboy lunch, cowboy cosplay.
I mean,
Oh.
that's tough.
Paul, where's your vote? We know ours. What are you?
I like all of them. I like all of them
Yeah.
except Olathe Sweet Corn, which just not. It's good, but 5 hours is too
I
far.
thought you were
Yeah.
revealing yourself to be a corn freak. As Adrian and I
Aspiring.
You're an
Not-
aspiring. You're not,
not
that.
so
You're
much.
clearly not that committed to corn.
No, I'm really not. It could be the dam for me. I could be convinced for the dam, but Old West Days is like right there.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. We're gonna go to see this exhibit, no matter.
Yeah,
what.
and the
I
exhibit
know.
does
Even
go
if
for
we
us
don't-
sometimes.
Even if
That's
we
what I
don't
was
go to
thinking.
opening day, we're gonna
Right.
go see
I know.
it.
That's what I was
It's
thinking.
so
I was like,
easy.
we're gonna go anyway.
Georgetown. Here's my pitch for Georgetown. It's not that far.
Yeah, it is not.
Feasibly, we could go to that.
Yeah. And this Old West Days is only 2 weekends, whereas the exhibit you can go throughout the summer.
Exactly.
I think you talked me into the Georgetown.
I do. The
think
train
you
ride
actually
looks
turned
awesome.
me on that last. This is the 2
Although-
weekends only. I like that.
If anyone listening knows what a cowboy lunch is, please tell us.
Don't tell us. I
Send
want to be
pics.
surprised.
Send pics.
Is that it? Do we just pick our
Sure,
official summer rating?
Georgetown Loop.
The
I am-
Georgetown Loop.
we're gonna go to the dam
I'm not a
anyways.
paid sponsor of Georgetown. Just
None of us are.
really good at swinging votes.
Okay, so there you have it, our official CityCast Denver maybe for your summer. The Georgetown Loop Old West Days happening 2 weekends in August. And it is free to attend, but $35 for adults to ride the train.
$29 for kids.
$29 for kids. That's a good deal. That sounds
great.
Awesome. I love it. Also, if you want more events, as we know that Peyton rounded up several dozen, you can find those in the Hey Denver newsletter, which you can subscribe to by texting Denver to 66866 right now and anytime. And also, I mean, you get recommendations from Peyton every week, every day of the week. And then Fridays, you get an onslaught of everything happening over the weekend. So if you're trying to figure out what to do this summer, the Hey Denver newsletter is the best way to do it.
I'm an event machine.
You are an event machine.
Yes.
I admire you. Well, Peyton, Adrian, and Paul, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, this
Thank
was
you.
fun.
This was super
See you in
fun.
Georgetown.
See you in
y'all.
Georgetown.
Yeehaw.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed the show, why not take a minute to tell Silver Plume Mayor / Georgetown Loop train engineer Sam McCloskey about us. Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to our morning newsletter, Hey Denver, by texting Denver to 66866. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye-bye.